Good morning, America. I am Steve Cook.
And I'm Jennifer Lee.
Today we are going to review some of not only the U.S. greatest moments, but some of this station's greatest anchors and reporters.
Yes, indeed. Let's begin.
I'm Barron Davis.
And I'm Corinthia Jordan.
Today is September 25th, 1947, and the number one question is, will Berlin be taken over by the Soviet Union? After World War II, Soviet Union and United States began to have tension and conflicts over minimal ideas. But it eventually created another war, a Cold War. That's right, folks, we are in another war. It's not a war that would normally have guns and bullets, but it's a very, very indirect war between us and USSR. Will US win or USSR? You decide. Show your support for our military. Hunt down any of these American traitors who are in support of communism. Stalin lied. He lied. Okay? We will win this war.
We're good. They understand.
Sorry about that. Couldn't handle it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. In other news, a metaphorical Iron Curtain has been placed over Europe, or in other words, the Soviet Union has taken over small countries surrounding their nation. Following that, America begins to form alliances such as NATO and CETO to defend against communist threat.
Another alliance was made also. It seems Soviet Union's creating its own army.
Yes, I believe that was the Warsaw Pact.
Yeah. This just in. President Truman has announced his formal address as the Truman Doctrine, stating that America will be the world leader to stop the spread of communism. And our first clients are Turkey and Greece.
You are certainly right. And now, live at the speech is Ivan.
Thanks, Corinthia. We're in Washington, D.C., where President Truman is on the podium giving a speech. Let's listen in.
It must be the policy of the United States to support free peoples who are resisting attempted subjugation by armed minorities or by outside pressures. The free peoples of the world look to us for support in maintaining their freedom. If we falter in our leadership, we may endanger the peace of the world, and we shall surely endanger the welfare of this nation.
Well said, President Truman. Well said. And that wraps up the news today. I'm Barron Davis.
And I'm Corinthia Jordan.
And you all have a blessed day.
Good morning, America. My name is Corinthia Jordan.
And I'm Barron Davis.
It's January 3rd, 1950s, and today's top story has to do with the possibility of there being communist sympathizers, that's right, communist sympathizers within our American government, and whether or not Korea will self-destruct.
Republican Senator Joseph McCarthy has made several accusations against government employees. However, no hard evidence has ever been found.
The possibility of there being communists within our government is enough to frighten every single American in this country. This fear dates back almost a decade ago with a period called the Red Scare.
Well said, Corinthia. Well said. Now, let's send it to our reporter on the scene, Aldo.
Thanks, Barron. I am here with a U.S. former employee who lost their job due to McCarthyism. His name is Ivan, and, I'm going to ask him some questions. So, how's it going?
It's not going so well. So, I just lost my house, and my family has no food. Well, thanks to McCarthyism, I have to go find a job outside.
Yeah, rumor has it that Senator McCarthy can't find evidence to support himself. What do you have to say about this?
I know he has no evidence because I am not a communist. I am an American. I believe in capitalists, and I believe in democracy.
Powerful words, sir. Powerful words. What else do you have to say about McCarthyism? Do you think that he will keep attacking other people?
Yes, I do believe he will be attacking U.S. citizens and falsely accusing them of communism.
Thank you, Ivan. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is Aldo Gallinar. Back to you, Barron.
Thanks, Aldo, and thank you, Ivan, for your participation. It seems that America has entered an arms race with the Soviet Union. Any thoughts, Corinthia?
Well, it seems that our country is not only testing a lot of bombs on top of fine-tuning and constructing, but we are also creating a lot of strategic maneuvers for our military.
Yes, indeed. Our military is quite fitting. And so is our missiles, which are on constant repair and update.
In other news, recent sighting in Korea show that the Soviets have influenced most of the North to possibly invade the South, where our troops are currently stationed.
At the time, the Soviet Union had boycotted the United Nations, thus forfeiting Korea's veto right. So, yes, it is true that they have influenced North Korea to be communist, and we won't let them take Korea now, will we?
No. Currently live at the scene at the military base in Gangwon is Alejandra Herrera.
With me here now is General Jonathan McCoy. General McCoy, what is the current situation here in Korea?
The current situation is taking its turn for the worse as Chinese troops and Soviet Union are aiding North Korea in the pursuit of South, and our military is way above requirement but is surely needed.
Do you have faith that the UN can drive North Korea out?
Without a doubt, I have extreme faith that our military will be victorious and drive these communist nog-hoggers out of the Korean.
Well, there you have it. It seems we will not only win this war in Korea, but have stronger support in the fight against communism. Thanks, General McCoy. Now back to you, Barron.
Alright, thank you, Ale. I believe that wraps up for today's news. I'm Barron Davis.
And I'm Corinthia Jordan.
You all have a wonderful evening. Good morning, America. I'm Barron Davis.
And I'm Corinthia Jordan.
Today is January 21st, 1961, and today's news is President Kennedy sworn in office, rumors of Castro converting into communism, and finally the Berlin Wall being built, separating West Berlin from East.
Effective of yesterday, January 20th, 1961, President John F. Kennedy has been sworn into office, swearing that he wants every citizen to be active, stating, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." In addition, waiting all nations to join to defend common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself.
Being our 33rd president, Kennedy shows true promise of his efforts. But what might his decision be with Cuba?
During the 1960 campaign, Kennedy learned that the CIA was secretly training about 1,500 Cuban exiles in Central America to invade Cuba. Many of the soldiers were Cuban Americans the CIA recruited in South Florida. When President Eisenhower was in office, he authorized this project and hoped to overthrow Cuba's current dictator, Fidel Castro.
He seems like every other dictator we've seen, like Hitler and Mussolini. It'll be a cinch to wipe him out of his own country.
You're surely right. We have more manpower than he would ever have.
Fidel Castro came to power in Cuba back in 1959 after a 2-year guerrilla warfare against Fulgencio Batista, the U.S.-backed dictator of Cuba. During his revolt, Castro had gained many supporters promising freedom and people's rights. Once in power, Castro took a more radical course of action. To add on to the trouble he caused, Castro began to make anti-American speeches. U.S.-Cuban relations were further strained when Castro signed a trade agreement with the Soviet Union in February 1960.
Apparently, the CIA believes that the invasion of Cuba would be the best action to inspire the people to rise up against Castro. Previous President Eisenhower doubted this prediction, but let it proceed regardless, knowing that the next president would have to deal with the situation.
Kind of cold-blooded, eh?
Well, yeah, he wasn't the greatest president anyway.
I'm not sure how this invasion is going to turn out. We shall see what Kennedy's plan of action is. My number one question is, what is Castro's course of action?
Well, let's just ask him. We have Aldo Gallinar live at the scene with Fidel Castro. Aldo?
Thanks, Corinthia. Right next to me is communist dictator Fidel Castro. Mr. Castro, I would like to know your course of action about these revolts that are trying to override your dictatorship.
What course of action? I don't need any action. Your President Kennedy is a coward. Oh yeah, Chico. If he wants me out of office, why does he just take my gun and shoot me with it? Yet he has the audacity to send my own people against me? I give them freedom and all their desires. They will never turn on me.
Well, what about the elite anti-American speeches you exclaimed last year?
What anti-American speeches? I made no such thing.
So now you're lying?
No, just because I don't want to tell you that I not only hate Americans, but the Soviet Union will win this war by blowing up your gun. Forget that I said that.
Huh? Alright then, I guess we will leave it at that. Thank you for your time, Fidel.
Okay then.
Alright.
Well, that was very off.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break and have a word from our sponsors.
When I came to America from Russia, I discovered many wonderful things, like blue jeans, unopened mail, and light beer from Miller. When I tasted this light, I said to myself, what a country. Light has great taste. Light's also less filling with third less calories than the regular beer. In America, there is plenty of light beer, and you can always find a party. In Russia, party always finds you.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.